Well, welcome back to the program. As mentioned before the break, we're now joined by Healing Hoofsteps, organization located in Crestview. That's got a unique mission, and we're going to talk about what they do in the community and an event coming up that you can be a part of. And joining me to talk about Healing Hoofsteps is Narissa Jenkins and also Jamie Wells. Thank you both so much for joining me on the program today.
Thanks for having us. Yeah. So I'm Narissa Jenkins. I'm the CEO and founder of Healing Hoofsteps in Crestview, Florida. So we do a couple of things. We do equine assisted mental health counseling as well as therapeutic riding. So we provide an alternative experience to traditional counseling as well as an outdoor setting for folks to get physical, mental, behavioral health care in a little bit of a different way. So we are a nonprofit organization. We do a lot of work with veterans and at-risk kids, individuals, and couples. Between our two programs, we've got 4 licensed therapists, 2 therapeutic riding instructors, and we're seeing clients in Crestview as well as over in Freeport to try and improve the mental health of our community. And we can't do that alone. So the very cool thing about being a nonprofit and being collaborative is that we're able to share in that with other wonderful organizations like Defenders of Freedom. So Jamie Wells, who's also joining us today, also has an incredible organization that does a lot of work to help serve vets. They even help fund sessions for veterans to come here and either do mental health sessions with our counselors or even ride, but they do some really unique things too. So we're really excited to partner with them on this upcoming event. So I'll let Jamie tell you a little bit about some of the special things that Defenders of Freedom does.
Thank you, Narissa. Hello again. Thanks for having us on. Jamie Wells with Defenders of Freedom Florida. I'm the CEO of the Florida chapter here. We have our founding chapter there in Texas. And what we do is help combat veteran suicide, and we do that through 3 different staples. The first and our number one thing is our brain treatment center with our own clinic at Resiliency Brain Health there in Texas. It's a 2-week, $10,000 program. We send veterans to work on functional brain fitness from injuries from a TBI. That's fully funded by donors and sponsors. The veteran pays nothing. And so that's, we believe, is what helps combat veteran suicide. If you can cure or fix the TBI, that leads to the second and third effects of PTS, sleep, anxiety. And so you're hitting that all at one time. The second thing that we do is our morale building events. We do our outdoor skills. We bring veterans in with folks, and we do outdoor skills, primitive fire, shelter. We do Night of the Blue Wahoos, just to get the veterans out to do something together, to see both mixed with the community, that the community still cares, and also other veterans so that they can share related issues that they might face out in society. And then, of course, we work with our equine therapy and riding program there with Narissa with Healing Hoofsteps. We try to push as many people out that way as we can. I've seen it firsthand in action. I've had the feedback from people that we've sent there. They do an amazing job, and Narissa and her team are all stars, and so we like working with them, and we encourage people to help us both. Our site, Defenders of Freedom Florida, will be here, on the screen as well. And just like Narissa, we can't do it alone. We count on donations and sponsors, and of course, volunteers are always needed.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Jamie, and letting us know about the organization and what you guys do. And I definitely encourage people to check out the website to get more information on you guys. And Narissa, back to you with the Healing Hoofsteps. The partnership that you have with Defenders of Freedom and then other organizations around Okaloosa County, how did this come up? It's such an interesting, unique idea to have this program. How did it come up, and then how did you partner with groups like Defenders of Freedom?
Well, I actually had found out about this model of therapy while I was living in Central Florida, and actually found out a lot about how horses were being used in non-traditional ways with licensed counselors to help folks with PTSD, anxiety, depression. And so as the daughter of a combat search and rescue vet myself, I have firsthand experience of how that affects the family, affects the children, the spouse, and all of that. And so it was this lifelong love of horses and the ability to give back to a community that I grew up in and that was part of my heritage, and really help those other families that may be going through the same thing, because we have an incredible military community here. I don't know that there's another place where you have every single military installation within a 40-mile radius of one another. It's very, very unique. I think we have the second highest veteran population in the country per congressional district. So being able to help move that needle for folks, because not everybody wants to sit on a couch and talk about your feelings for an hour.
Sure.
Here they're immersed as a member of the herd. So we kind of do it as learning by doing as opposed to learning by being told. So it's a really unique experience for folks that traditional counseling, traditional methods may not have worked for them. So
yeah, it's definitely a unique experience for sure, a unique idea. So let's talk about the fundraiser you guys have coming up, Par for Patriots. What can you tell us about that?
Well, so this is our inaugural Par for Patriots presented by Eglin Federal Credit Union. We're going to be hosting it September 23rd and 24th at the Blackwater Golf Club in Crestview. It's been completely revamped. So on Friday night, the 23rd, we have a Top Tracer Points Challenge. So if you think you can outdrive your buddies, I don't know if you've been there or not, it's the only Top Tracer course, but I think Spanish Fort is the next one that's closest to us. If you can outdrive your buddies, we'll have a King or Queen of Clubs competition that night. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. So your entry fee includes your play as well as a food truck ticket that evening. And then we have our traditional 18-hole course on September the 24th. Registration is going to be at 8:30, or check-ins at 8:30 and tee off around 9. So that tournament, both of those, you can get your tickets to play on eventbrite.com, or you can visit the page on healinghoofsteps.org to be able to learn more about any of the sponsorships that we still have a couple of them available. You can sponsor holes. We actually added this veteran showcase sponsorship. So if you'd like, if there's a special veteran in your life that you know of, we just need a photo and a bio, 500 words or less about this particular veteran. And those sponsorship signs will go at each one of the holes so that as our players are going through and playing, they can learn a little bit about veterans that have made an impact in our community.
Well, very cool. So we're out of time, but Narissa and Jamie, thank you both so much for coming on the program today. And definitely go to healinghoofsteps.org and also defendersofreedomfl.us to learn more about both of these organizations. Thank you both so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate your time, and thank you for everything you do for our veterans community.
Thank you for having us.
Stay with us. When we come back, we'll be joined by the Emerald Coast Wildlife Refuge.